Welcome, folks. 302 Sports. I'm Benny Mitchell here at Milford High School for the number 1 ranked Smyrna Eagles. They travel down to Milford to take on the number 4 ranked Milford Buccaneers. But what we got here, folks, is we have the defending Division I state champs taking on the defending Division II state champs. And out of the last 3 years, nobody else has taken a title in dual meet wrestling as the Smyrna's on a 4-year run as state champs, and with Milford on a 3-year run here in Division II. So joining me tonight on the broadcast, I have 2 color commentators with me tonight. First, joining me again is Scott Kammerer of he's been with me for a couple of his big Division I matches. He joins me again tonight. And I also have Trey Mitchell, assistant wrestling coach at Caesar Rodney High School. And Scott, we've had a couple big Division I matches this year, and now we have a Division I versus Division II, the battle of the 2 state champs, the top teams in their division over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, and these teams have really kind of dominated their divisions the last 3 or 4 years. Milford winning 3 titles in a row, and Smyrna 4 going for 5. Milford 3 going for 4, and these are really the 2 premier programs in Delaware right now. One's in 1, one's in 2, and really Smyrna was kind of a small D1 school, and Milford's kind of a big D2 school. So Milford's bounced back and forth a little bit, and I know Smyrna was D2 for a while. So these are 2 really rich tradition programs. They have 2 longtime coaches, 2 probably Hall of Fame future coaches. And how do you feel the matchup looks tonight, Benny? Like, what's your gut feel on the matchups tonight?
Well, coming in before I got here, when they were doing weigh-ins, and I thought, yeah, we could have a chance for an entertaining match. And then I noticed a couple ranked Milford wrestlers will not step on the mat tonight. Number 5, Eric Bennett, will not wrestle at 195 pounds. And number 3, Dominic Hovington, will not wrestle at 220 pounds. They have a kid by the name of Diaz in at 220 who will be able to do an okay job tonight. He's I think he won at least 1, if not 2, middle school conference championships here at Milford Middle School. But with that, you got Smyrna with, and we're gonna put the rankings up here in a second. What we thought could be the matchups tonight. Just remember 195 and 220; those 2 guys will not be there. So you're looking at 8 ranked Smyrna wrestlers coming in, and that's why they're ranked number 1 in the state.
Yeah, and it looks like, looking at the lineup, Smyrna's defending state champ at 132 pounds. Greg Baum won't be wrestling tonight, and Ryan Kelly is in that spot. And he's a tough kid and pretty accomplished wrestler in his own right. I think he's a good backup there. Transfer
from Slays-Annam. He could be a guy that gets enough matches, could find himself in the rankings. And Trey, you guys have already met the Milford Buccaneers this year at Caesar Rodney, and you got Smyrna coming up next week. So talk a little bit about you guys dropped a close match with Milford. Talk a little bit about the Milford Buccaneers.
Well, Milford, they're a scrappy team. They're D2 state champs for a reason. They know how to get the job done. I mean, they're definitely down a little bit tonight with some ranked guys out wrestling, but I still expect them to put on an entertaining match and give these guys a fight no matter what. They're tough.
And, of course, being from former, not only a Caesar Rodney assistant coach now, you are a former rider. And so, you got that little bit of that don't like Smyrna attitude. You've met them 4 times in some of the biggest matches of your career, including college. The Smyrna CR match, always a big one. That's going to be next Wednesday night, and we will be carrying that on 302 Sports. Talk a little bit about this Smyrna team, and I know they are the arch nemesis and the rival of the Riders, but talk a little bit about this Smyrna team.
They're our arch nemesis when we step on the mat. Outside of it, I got a lot of respect for them. They have a great coach, a great team. Their kids work hard. You can't help but be proud of them for the state of Delaware. They're the state champs for 4-time state champs.
They've won 4 in a row,
and they prove it every week. So got a lot of respect for them. I expect to get the job done tonight. Have some really good.
And I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure you don't walk around with your chest stuck out, knowing that the 2012 Caesar Rodney Riders are the last Delaware team to beat Smyrna.
Yeah, well, we did beat them.
Smyrna is on a 4-year winning streak in Delaware. Nobody in Delaware has beaten them in the last 4 years. And Scott, we watched coming in. A lot of people said this was the year to beat Smyrna, and there was a lot of people at the beach that said this was the year Cape could beat Smyrna. And boy, let me tell you something. Smyrna walked in with a total attitude that night. We carried that match.
Yeah, and if you kind of look at the history of Delaware wrestling, St. Mark's had that nice long run where they won a lot of state titles. CR had a nice run there for quite a bit, and Smyrna's got their run now. So it's a matter of when a group of guys is going to step up and beat them, and how long can Smyrna hold on. And I will tell you, Smyrna does everything right. I mean, they have a great middle school program, they have a great youth program, they have good coaching, their kids work hard in season, and they definitely deserve it. But there's a lot of other people in the state of Delaware working hard. We thought Central had a really good team this year too. We saw them wrestle against Cape. That was a nail biter. And then we thought maybe Smyrna and Cape could be good matchups. But Smyrna just blew them out of the water. They won I think we had 7 or 8 toss-ups.
And they won all of them.
They won every single one.
Right.
In fact, they got bonus points in a couple of toss-ups.
Right.
So that's really something that's.
Well, and I think when we talk about this Smyrna team, they're very good. They're a very good team. But back in 2010, 2010. The dual meet championship was no longer determined the conference champion. You want to be the Henlopen Conference champion, you have to win the tournament. There's a lot of parity this year. I think Smyrna's the front runner. Sussex Central, Cape are knocking on their door. But a team like Milford or Cesar Rodney, who maybe won't win the conference, they have a lot to say in who's going to be the top team, as they're going to be able to knock some people out. This year's Henlopen Conference tournament is going to be one on the backside. Don't you agree, Trey?
Oh, I definitely agree. That's where, look at the NCAA Division I tournament. I remember watching Penn State a few years back win the tournament on the backside. The backside is just as important as the front side. It's what who can punch their way through to the state tournament, who can pick up those bonus points on the backside. It's really important.
Well, and Scott, you were at the Dover match. They have a handful of guys that maybe, if they don't reach the finals, are going to be looking at third place. And if you're Smyrna or Sussex Central or Cape, it might be a Cesar Rodney guy, a Dover guy, or a Milford guy that's going to keep you out of that third and fourth place match and affect the overall team score.
Yeah, and I like Dover. I saw a lot. I love Aaron Harris as a coach, and I saw Anthony Fisher, who's one of our favorite wrestlers, who was an Open Conference Outstanding Wrestler.
For 302 Sports and Sodell Concepts last year.
Yeah, so he's always got a soft spot in my heart, and he wrestled a tough match and lost to Vinny Diego. He was the number one guy. But his body of work is still strong, and he's still.
Well, we talked about that ranking. And I know next week I'm going to do the rankings. And I can tell you right now, if you're watching 302 Sports, Vinny Diego at number 5 did beat Anthony Fisher, but there's nothing I can do about the rankings. He's got 2 wins. Fisher's got 2 wins over Immediato. Immediato's got 3 wins over Morris. Morris has beaten Diego. Juarez Robertson has beaten Morris. And like you said, the body of work, there's just really nothing, because you can't put Diego over everybody, with the loss to Morris. And I think another thing that hurts Diego, and we talked about this, is Cape wrestles a heavy out-of-state schedule, and when you go start looking for comparisons, they're not there.
Yeah, there's not as many common opponents. The other good match was Lee and Bean. That was a really good match.
Right, ended on a concussion with Bean leading at the time. So could be that's your semifinal probably. Coming up here in a couple weeks, and we'll carry the finals. Hopefully, folks, we're hoping to carry the semifinals. We're going to see if that's going to be possible to run 2 cameras. We'll find out. But we will definitely be carrying the Henlopen Conference Finals, sponsored by Sodell Concepts, at Sussex Central High School coming up here in a couple weeks. But more importantly, we got coming up, Scott, we'll be doing the Division I, Division II state dual meets, and you'll be joining me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get my calendar out here to keep track of all these dual meets I'm volunteering for. So the other interesting match, Benny talking about it, was at Dover, was Joyner and Caruso. And then Dover forfeited Joyner to Caruso, I think, for more of a seeding situation.
Yeah, that could affect seeding, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was a very interesting strategy. I don't quite know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Joyner was available to wrestle. They didn't wrestle him. I did pay my $5.
Assuming he was able to wrestle. We don't know. Could have been an injury. We have a case with that here with Provenci Augustin. I do not know if he will wrestle tonight. He has been injured. There's a kid ranked number 6 in the state. Although Don Parsley, being the 20-plus year veteran he is, had him suited up, headgear on, ready to take the mat against Marcosi the other night. But it was Indian River's choice. Indian River had to put Marcosi on the mat. He pulls him off with a shoulder injury, gives him the forfeit. Indian River goes on to, Milford goes on to take the lead in the Henlopen South.
And there's a lot of strategy with forfeits, and a lot of savvy coaches, and a lot of maybe casual fans might not understand all the forfeits.
Right.
And then you got guys like me that just generally don't believe in forfeits.
I think they hurt the sport.
I think they hurt the sport.
Yeah.
I think you wrestle to wrestle. And I was a guy, believe it or not, I got 12 out of 14 dual meets my senior year. I got 12 forfeits.
Let's talk about 120. And the seeding does come down to the coaches. And Trey, you may want to talk about this a little bit because this affects 120 is going to be not only the most interesting weight class in the conference to see, but the state as well. You've got Cam Hayes up top, defending 2-time state champion, and now with you got Joyner with the early win over Natacola, so that gives him the head-to-head advantage when it comes to seeding. And then you have Natacola with the pin over Caruso, which gives Natacola the head-to-head nod in the seeding. And now you have Joyner, who doesn't wrestle Caruso, so right now you've pushed possibly Anthony Caruso into the top half with Cameron Hayes, but I'm not done yet. Not so fast, my friend. You got a kid down at Indian River who's undefeated.
He's good.
Dejan Knight.
We saw him at Battle of the Beach.
Right.
I like him.
Right. So, Trey, talk a little bit about coming up next week, the Natacola Hayes match. A Natacola win, and that totally throws the seeding into a bind.
Yeah, that could really mess the seeding up if he does that. Well, it doesn't mess the seeding up, but it makes it a lot more
interesting.
Yeah, it makes it a dogfight at the seeding meeting. For us, hopefully Cameron's number one. He gets his job done. But
if the coaches follow the head-to-head, Scott, if they follow the head-to-head, throw in Dejan Knight at Indian River, you could have Natacola Caruso Friday night of the conference tournament
as a quarterfinal.
I think no matter what, 120 is going to have some very interesting quarterfinals.
120 is the best weight class in the state, I think. I think it's the deepest. I watched a young man down at Laurel the other night by the name of Isaiah Jenkins. He went out 21-second pin, fired up Laurel to a big win over Delmar. And there's a kid that, he's on the bubble. He's on the outside looking in.
Could upset some people.
Yeah, could he pull an upset? He's a freshman. But there's just another guy that's put his name. He was our 302 Sports Outstanding Wrestler Wednesday night. The 120 is just deep. And I'm looking here on the mat right now, Scott, and we see a kid by the name of Jacob Crenshaw, who has transferred back from St. Paul School in Baltimore, and he's just waiting on his DIAA clearance. He's a 120 or 126.
Yeah, and I think he's a former middle school Flow National All-American.
Right.
And wrestled at St. John's last year, or this year.
Right, he was starting at St. John's, wrestled at the Beast for St. John's. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we come back. We'll have the introductions of the national anthem. We're going to get some wrestling between the defending Division I state champs and the defending Division II state champs. Smyrna at Milford.
Scott Kammerer of Sodell Concepts. We have 8 locations, a catering company and a food truck right here on the Culinary Coast in southern Delaware, and we'd love to see you at one of our locations. Fish On and Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue in downtown Rehoboth, serving homemade pasta. Papa Grande's in downtown Rehoboth. Our treetop deck has the best happy hour around. And Matt's Fish Camp, located on Route 1 in North Bethany Beach, your classic seafood shack. At Sodell, we believe in beautiful, simple food and making the world a better place. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer of Sodell.
This place is for everybody. Actually, my entire family signed up. So my wife, my children, my young son comes in. My son's only 10. They have the kids classes. They have the fitness class. If you're just looking primarily to get in shape. Obviously, the jiu-jitsu class is what I come here for.
Every time I walk through that door, I'm unbelievably happy, that I'm here. It's just a reminder of all the energy and effort that I've put in.
Even if you just watch a class first, you won't know until you try.
And that last commercial we had there, Scott and Trey, Delaware Combat Sports, and that guy's sitting up behind me there a little bit. Ronnie Weiss, his son will take the mat tonight at 195 pounds, was a state champ in 2015. Last year broke his elbow, and in the semifinals, and had to drop down to 6. And I'm looking back at Ronnie right now, and trying to get away from him, but he's probably spent all day choking people out, and he runs a Delaware Combat Sports gym. So, folks, we're going to cut right now to our public address announcer. That's Jesse Parsley, brother of Don Parsley, and he's going to give us tonight's starting lineup. And those are your starting lineups, folks, for the Smyrna Eagles and the Milford Buccaneers. And Scott, we saw a couple add-ins there for the Bucks. Dylan Biddles at 182, Vontae Bennett at 195, and Anthony Diaz. Anthony Diaz, like I said, good. He's just biding his time here. He's a sophomore, waiting to get into the lineup. But a couple key matches I see already tonight, Scott, at 138 pounds. Number 6 ranked J.T. Davis, and he's going up against Gavin Garcia, who was ranked number 6, 132. Talked to him at War on the Shore. Cannot make the weight cut anymore. He bumps up to 138. And then at 145 pounds, we'll see number 1, Chase Arcangelo, against number 4, Alex Cressy. And look at 152. Kyrie Hovington has been coming on here at late, winning some matches. So we could maybe see a good one there, because we talked about Nate Bryant. He went out like a ball of fire against Cape and Lopin and just kind of faded at the end and made it a really interesting match.
Yeah, and I think for me, the 145 match with Chase Arcangelo and Alex Cressy, that's a really interesting match for me. It's two guys we've seen for a long time, and that to me is the marquee matchup. And I'm also interested in the 170 matchup between Larson Wilson and Reynolds.
Reynolds is dangerous.
Absolutely,
he's absolutely dangerous.
He's absolutely dangerous, and Wilson to me looks more offensive this year, in a good way. I mean,
right.
He looks more of an offensive attacking wrestler this year than he did in years past, and that's kind of scary to say considering he won the state title last year.
That's right. We're going to start off here at 106 pounds, and Dylan Andruzzi got the big pin at Cape and Lopin, his first win of the year after 17 losses. Now he's got winning fever. He won 2 matches in the tournament last week. Trey, talk a little bit about how a guy that gets off that slide, and now he's in a big match, and it's going to be a tight match.
Well, you got to come to play. I mean, every match should be a big match when you this long dual meet season. So
here we go, folks. 106 pounds. Dylan Andruzzi, Anthony Soli, Milford Buccaneers. and the Smyrna Eagles. For those folks that are out of town, maybe watching grandchildren or cousins, Smyrna will be in the gold-gray singlet with the red S on the side. The Milford Buccaneers in the burgundy, gold, and white singlets. And we're often starting here at 106 pounds with Andruzzi in on a leg. And Scott, he's shown a lot of confidence after that win coming out against a bigger opponent. Here he weighs 85 pounds. He came right out and took a shot right away.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite bouts of the year. Dylan Andruzzi was 0-17, and he came out and fired up his team with a third period pin in the Cape Henlopen match. He got the 302 athlete
outstanding wrestler of the night.
Yeah, and he's on a winning streak since then. So wrestling, just like in life, your fortunes can take a dramatic change in a real hurry.
In a crackdown position, solely able to get the hips up, stave off the takedown. Andruzzi looking to turn the corner. He comes back up to his feet, in on a high crotch, looking to switch off and go for a takedown here. And he's got to switch off to that double.
Yeah, and this is what's hurt him a little bit, being undersized. I think he gets out-muscled in some of these situations where I think if he was the same weight, he'd switch to a double and drive across.
Right.
But in this case, it looks like he got tied up for a stalemate.
We're going to get a stalemate, folks. Referee tonight, Pat Ogden. He is the chief of police of the University of Delaware Police Force. Academy classmate of mine, Scott. Academy classmate.
Yes, Ben.
25 years ago.
You were number 1 in the class, and he was number 2, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was around there. I can't remember. It's been a long, long time.
There were some 1s and 2s, but it might not have been you guys.
That's right. Pat's a retired Delaware State Trooper, retired as a captain of, I believe, Troop 1 upstate. He likes to come down and do the Henlopen Conference matches. He was a St. Mark's guy. So here we go. Underhook by Soley. Underhook, overhook, looking to step over. Still can't score. Folks, you're on 302 Sports. 302sports.com. I'm Benny Mitchell. With me tonight, Scott Kammerer, Trey Mitchell, and our camera lady, Kristen Mitchell, and producing up in Wilmington, Nick Halliday. 2 seconds ago in the period, no score, and that's how it's going to end 0-0. So probably advantage Andruzzi because he was an animal on top in the Cape match.
Yeah, he's good, Benny, and I like to call this the SEAL Team 6 of 302 Sports right here. The Mitchell
there you go. All right.
Make strategic strikes here.
Well, we've always given Paul, which we stole it, the Big Ten of Delaware High School Wrestling, the Henlopen Conference. We'll take SEAL Team 6 of 302 Sports.
There you go.
Got to have a name. There we go. So here we go. Andruzzi on bottom here in the second period. And Trey, look at this ride here. Solely doing a good job controlling the wrist, keeping the weight on him. How important is that, if he can wear this kid down here in the second period?
It's very important for Solely. Obviously, the Smyrna kid's undersized, so if he can, put that pressure forward and break him here, it gives him a good chance in third period to put some points on the board.
Minute 34 to go here in the second period. Andruzzi gets the hips clear, looking to go, and Solely goes right back behind.
Soley's got a good ride here. He seems like he's got good control, and Andruzzi was going to do a lot.
And as you said it, Andruzzi circles out, comes to his feet, and gets the escape with a minute 15 to go here in the second period. And I think he's become the Smyrna fan favorite, Scott. And fans are just big time supporting him now.
I will say I'm a big fan of his.
Right. And on another high crotch.
He's not afraid to shoot.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
He's a crackback right here. Yeah, he's getting body wizard and just getting out muscle a little bit here down low. So Solly's definitely got the size advantage. It looks like the strength advantage and the age advantage. But wrestling's a great equalizer, and sometimes it doesn't all add up to a victory.
Andruzzi's got to look to create some angles here in these shots. He's just getting stuck underneath and getting out muscled. He can create an angle. He can get a takedown here.
He's looking for a dump here.
Yeah, he's looking for a little dump here. He's got him on his hip.
He passed the arm. That's 2. That's almost 2.
And there he gets the 2. And Andruzzi goes up 3-0. We had this as a toss-up match. Both these guys struggling this year. They about 3-4 wins each. 11 seconds to go.
So Solly will have choice in the third period.
Correct.
Looks like he's going to.
And he's got a switch here with 4 seconds to go. And looking to go behind, and Andruzzi able to hang on. It's 3-0, Dylan Andruzzi, third period. And Solely is going to take the bottom position. But I tell you, Scott, I was impressed with the way Andruzzi handled himself on top in that Cape match. I mean, he not only drove, twice he turned that kid in Harmon and stuck him with a big half Nelson at the end.
Yeah, we'll see if Solly can get hand control and get some kind of a first move and get out from bottom here. I wasn't real crazy about his first move right there.
Right.
It's pretty much just plan and put your head down. So you got to get a first move.
Comes to his feet, turns back to the mat to go out of bounds. Minute 45 to go in the match. with Dylan Andruzzi of Smyrna leading 3-0.
So minute 45, he's got a restart here. He needs to get out and start working some setups for a takedown.
Switch attempt by Soley.
And Andruzzi stuffed it.
Yeah, it just that knee up the butt. Good chop, and got him right back down. Yeah, and with that cross wrist, going to have to elbow that off.
Andruzzi's just chewing up time here, really, and Solly's got it. He's down by 3, so an escape's not going to cut.
Oh, watch out! Might have a Pearson here on the edge. That's 2.
I think that's 2.
I
also.
think that's 2 also.
2.
And there it is, awarded by the referee. And with 1:07 to go, Soley gets the reversal on the edge, makes it 3-2 Andruzzi, and that's
Looks
what he's
like
going to do.
cut him.
Coach Parsley comes to the edge of the mat, and he's going to put him up and try to get the takedown and tie it up. So 4-2 with 1:07 to go here in the third period.
This isn't Coach Parsley's first rodeo.
No, he's been around. I think he showed up here around 1984, 1985. Greensboro, Salem, out of Pennsylvania, coached by Ronnie Waller Sr.
And he's a Lock Haven guy also.
Also a Lock Haven guy, correct?
A lot of Lock Haven guys in Delaware.
And Soley looks like he might have a side headlock here. And Andruzzi rolls through and gets the takedown to go up 6-2. And Trey, it looked like Soley just never hooked the head on that side. It like he had just 2 hands on the arm or something.
Yeah, never had a solid hold there.
I thought that was really the big opportunity for Soley to make a move there.
Well, he got it off Andruzzi's sucker drag.
And Druzzi's looking for more points.
Right, he's not looking at
That's the mentality you have to have.
He's not looking to hang on with 15 seconds left. He's looking at bonus points.
And Dylan Andruzzi, he's going to get his 3rd win of the season with a 6-2 decision over Anthony Soley. So that puts Smyrna up 3-0 as they strike first. Andruzzi, he might want his picture on the internet again, Scott.
I tell you what, he could be my wrestler of the week every week.
Right.
I love this kid.
So here we go, folks. We move to 113 pounds, and here we're going to get to see the #1 ranked wrestler in the state, Robbie Rosser, out of Milford, and he's up against Gavin Sembley.
And Rosser's on a mission from last year.
Absolutely.
He lost in the state finals, and it was a hard-fought battle. And a lot of times the way you respond to losses really defines your career. And looking at him this year, he that loss did not sit well with him, and he responded by working harder.
He
and
immediately
getting
goes behind, gets a takedown in 7 seconds. And Scott, one thing I noticed about him in the Milford Invitational, he had a little bit of chip on his shoulder. He was edgy, and that's something. Robbie's always been the nice guy on the mat, and this year he has not.
And there's nothing wrong with being a little chippy and having a little edge to you. Wrestling's not a sport for snowflakes, Benny.
Absolutely. And Trey, you've known this kid a long time, came through the Olympic Hammers program. You've had an opportunity to work with him. Talk a little bit about the Milford's #1 ranked Robbie Rosser at 113 pounds.
Well, ever since he was a little kid, he's always been tough. He's always wanted to win. He's always worked hard. But like you said, he's got a chip in his shoulder from last year, and I've seen him crank that physicality up by 10. He's getting it after this year, and he's just beating on people.
Robbie goes behind, comes through with the sub up, and Assembly looks to funk. And Scott, we see a lot of funks, but what I've noticed more this year is I've seen a lot of funks not working. Trey talks a little bit about funk defense. He shows it a lot, and I guess the science of wrestling has come to where the funk's not as effective anymore.
Yeah, I think the funk was really in vogue for quite a few years, and when a defense to something like the funk is to just stuff it and stop trying to take takedown, I think kids figure that out. I remember for years in the 80s, people rode legs, and it was like the most baffling thing in the world, and then they learned, smash the hip and defend the legs. So
the leg guys came in with a high 4.
Exactly, they came in with a high 4, and now there's some guys back to riding legs again, So I think the funk is kind of out of style, and I see more kids get stuffed trying to funk and stuffed and put to their back. So Assembly almost gave up some back points there on the funk.
Roster up 4-1. And me and Trey talked last night, Scott. We were talking about how the science of wrestling is really basic. There's the core basic part of wrestling, and everything else is on the fringe and the edges. Things like the funk and the mixer and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, if you have the core, the basic wrestling.
If you think of the fundamentals of wrestling, stance, double, half, arm bars,
Right.
cradles, stand-ups. You can win state titles by just being good at the basics.
That's right. Rosser potentially dangerous. He gets a lot of those.
What was potentially dangerous on that?
I didn't. It may have been the knee where he had the leg hooked because it looked like it could have been something down low that we weren't looking at. So we go out 6-1. He did get the two backs. 6-1 at the end of the first period, and Rosser's going to go bottom. And this kid, he's usually a changeover, high turn, changeover, stand up, changeover, switch. He's got a lot of motion on bottom.
It's the way you got to wrestle bottom. Keep moving.
And there he goes, switch on right to the master position, and
his head's up.
Yeah.
His head's up. He's moving. He had the first move. Back to the basics.
And here he comes.
The hammer.
Yep. Rises to his feet. Kid's long time hammer. Wrestled with me since I think first or second grade.
He's got a cradle.
Got the near side cradle, head in the side, and it looks like he's going to step through. He's got the leg hooked.
This
is trouble. Sembley's in big time trouble. As Rosser
he gave it up.
Gets 3 back. He's up 8-1 with the reversal, and I tell you, when Robbie Rosser sticks on the mat, you get 360 seconds. You get the full 6 minutes.
Yeah, he gets his money's worth of every second he's out there trying to get points. So he's up 11-1 with 1:20
now
left
13-1. So he's looking for a tech fall here early.
So he's looking for backs here because 16-1. One more back. One more exposure of the backs at tech. So if he does, he's got to pin him.
Yeah, he has showed his strength. And we get a potentially dangerous.
Now, what do you think of that situation, Benny?
I think he called it a little too early. I think he saw Sembley going to stand up, and I think he just safety of the wrestler. I think he hit the whistle just a little early.
Yeah, I think, I'm as hard nosed as anybody, and I think in a situation like that, you might as well play it safe.
Right.
Play it safe for the kid. And there's a lot of season
But
left.
it's not a 1-point match. It's a 12-point match.
So. Yeah, and it's not the national championship.
I kind of see what he saw. I think if he just waited it out.
Yeah.
And there's Rosser. And that's going to be another potentially dangerous. And I think Rosser's starting to get a little aggravated. He's showing his good composure there. He's showing the front.
Kurt's gonna want a clarification on this, I believe. You can ask for a rule clarification, and you can ask a question, but you can't question the call.
Correct.
Yeah. So Kurt's asking him, what would you say? Can you explain to me what you saw? And I think the referee did a really good job of explaining what he saw.
He made him leave.
Poor Kurt, just walked away.
So there we go. Minute 1 to go. Rosser still on top, looking for one turn to end this match. And there it is, cranks on the near side. He's getting that bar in.
See, with that much time left, I think you cut him. That gives you more opportunity. Because here, if you turn him and you don't pin him, then
Robbie Rosser is a guy that likes to prove his point. He is going to turn him to get this tech fall. And there he is with a hazard roll.
But the problem is you're not going to get the
holding the 3.
You don't have a chance of the fall now. You just get the tech.
And that's a tech fall for Rosser with 42 seconds to go. So a minute 28, or excuse me, 3:28 on the tech fall. 16-1. And Rosser puts the Milford Bucks in the lead, 5-0. And that's going to move us up to 120 pounds, where we see another ranked wrestler in the state, Nick Natacola, currently ranked number 2 in the state. And he's taking on Jace Darling, senior out of Milford High School. And Natacola, first match back, takes a loss to Joyner Dover, and then second dual meet back, he gets the big winner, the defending state champ, Anthony Caruso out of Cape and Lopin. And Scott, I thought that match, it was a pin, but the match really wasn't that close before the pin. I mean, Natacola really put on a good, two good takedowns and turned them twice.
Yeah, it was 7-0, and then he turned them, and then he got the pin, so it would have been 10-0 regardless of the pin. And I think there was about 40 seconds left in the match at the time, but sometimes styles and matchups make the match. So I thought that was a really well wrestled match by Natacola, and gave him some confidence, and it looks like he's on a roll. But we were talking about it before match. He had a great Virginia duels.
Yeah, he went 4-0 right before the Cape duel. He was 4-0 at the Virginia duels. And Trey, you wrestled at the Virginia duels, and not an easy tournament. Although you went 3-0 down there, but but talk about how tough that Virginia duel tournament is.
Oh, it's a grind. It's a grind.
You guys had state champions.
We had 3 good matches. We wrestled Cannon Mack, Cox out of Virginia, and Camden Catholic out of Jersey, I believe.
And there's a takedown by Natacola. He's going to go up 4-1. A lot of Division I college wrestlers out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Division I college wrestlers there.
I one time went 0-3 at the Virginia Duels, Benny. At Lockhaven, I lost 3 overtime matches. As a heavyweight. Which
That's
is
the heavyweight
common.
style.
Yeah, it's kind of common, yeah.
Jace Darling in on a single here, head inside single. Needs to get an angle. Natacola, and this is Natacola hit a cradle out of this in the Cape Duel. I mean, he's got a lot of leverage and long arms, long legs.
He's looking to spladle.
He's looking to spladle right now. That's correct. And we just saw a big spladle last week, didn't we, Trey?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Darling, he's going to get the takedown.
He didn't hook that leg there. Yeah, he exposed his back before he secured the leg.
Right.
Yeah, and the spladle Bo Nickel did to Brooks from Iowa was incredible.
Yeah.
It was almost in slow motion, or it just because I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I think everybody knew the spladle was coming.
Yeah.
So reversal by Natacola. He goes up 6-4 here with 10 seconds left in the first period at 120 pounds.
And I like this chain wrestling right to the attempt on the back point right away. Break that right to the next one. So
we end the first period 9-4, and Trey, got to give the guy credit. What Natacola showed right there. Who's the guy in this state that shows that high floor and that chain wrestling?
What'd you say?
I said Natacola looked a little bit like a guy that we've seen around that really brought the high four here. Not really brought it, but really started showing it, and with that high four and that chain wrestling up top.
Sheldon Thomas talked to me.
Absolutely.
I tell you, the other thing of Sheldon Thomas really I liked about was his leg defense.
Yes.
His leg defense was really impeccable.
Takedown by Natacola.
Natacola's not playing around anymore, it looks like.
Up 11-5.
Got a little scared from that split. It looks like he's getting solid stuff and right to business.
Yeah, so I think he's looking for bonus points here.
Yes, he is. He's got to watch his own back there. He's got a hazard roll, getting the swipes, and he's going to go up 14-5.
Breaks the hold. Looks like he's going to go right back to it, though.
He's got the 9-point lead here in the second period. We're at 120 pounds, folks. We're on 302 Sports.
Yeah, and Benny was talking about it earlier. 120 is a very interesting weight in the state of Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably the deepest. I'd say maybe 182 and 120 are probably two of the deeper weights.
Right.
Not necessarily the hardest weights because there's a lot of, consensus number ones at other weights. But I think 120 is wide open.
Trey, you're getting a free look here at Natacola before next Wednesday night as the Riders will have that match, the Riders and the Eagles. Huge rivalry here in the state of Delaware. 50 seconds to go here.
I'm here for the announcing gig.
All right.
You can't be scouting.
Oh, he's not taking any notes.
He's not taking any notes. It's all in the memory bank, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, look at the near side crowd. I guess the pin in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Does Nick Natacola. So that puts the Eagles up 9-5. Heading into 126 pounds. And at 126.
The Jordan Passwater's from Milford.
Jordan Passwater's from Milford. And Cole Sebastianelli from Smyrna. And Sebastianelli takedown in the first 5 seconds.
And Sebastianelli's really been on the roll, too, really wrestling well and putting moves together. And I think he's looking for a quick finish here.
He's got him on his back on the edge of the mat.
I need to bring him in a little bit.
Yeah, he's got to circle him back in.
And the flavor of this match is a little bit different than the previous match.
And he's not just winning matches, Scott. He's pinning top-ranked guys. He's pinning ranked guys, and his 26 is going to be another good weight class.
I think sometimes wrestling is like baseball. You get on a hot streak, you
right.
start hitting home runs, and
sometimes
the ball.
You get in the slump.
When you're hitting home runs, the ball looks really big, and you're just hitting everything. And
3 back.
Situation
goes up 5-0.
Sebastianelli's right back to the center, and looking to turn him and build on his lead. He wants bonus points. I don't think he'll be satisfied with anything, but probably.
We're going to see a big match with him Friday night, guys. Me and you will be up to Smyrna when the Sussex Central Golden Knights travel north to take on the Smyrna Eagles, probably for the Henlopen North Championship. And there's a quick half, Nelson wrist and half by Sebastianelli, and he'll be going up against the number 2 ranked guy in the state in that match will be Rashad Stratton out of Sussex Central.
And Rashad Stratton has put it together this year. I think he's always been a real technical wrestler, but he didn't have the gas tank on his back. This year, he's shown me a lot.
He's putting it all together,
better shot. Yeah, he's putting it all together. He's in way better shape.
Sebastianelli looking for the fall here, 50 seconds to go.
And Jordan's doing a good job with the bridge, but he's in deep trouble now. 40 seconds left.
It's a long time to be there, yeah.
Alongside. He's reversing the half and lifting the head. It could be over right here.
He needs to lock his hands to lift that head.
And he's got the hands locked.
That should be a pin.
And there's the pin. In a minute, 32 seconds. And that's, we saw Sebastianelli with the big pin. I think he got the pin at Cape, did he not, Scott? At the time over Andre Curry, ranked number 4 in the state. So we're going to move to 132 pounds, where we have Mike Edwards and Ryan Kelly. And folks, let me tell you something about this Edwards kid. So he wrestled 6 matches this year, but he is a dangerous wrestler. Trey, talk a little bit about that cradle he possesses.
Yeah, when we wrestled him, we were winning the match, and he locked his long arms in a cradle and pinned one of our was at 132. So yeah, right. 132 pounder. We made a move there, hoping to get a win, and it backfired on us.
Big takedown by Kelly. Kelly transferred from Salesianum. And he's going to go out of bounds. He's going to get not going to get the backs on the edge.
He looks like he's going to cut him here, Benny, and he's looking for another takedown. Shot a high crotch for the first takedown to a lift, and we'll see if he mixes it up. It's always interesting to me, like if something's working, do you switch to something else? Right. Or do you stick with what you have, or do you want to show your arsenal?
High crotch, nice deep shot. He's in deep again on the edge.
So it's a high crotch to a lift, kind of the same thing.
That's going to be a slam.
Got to be able to control him if you don't take him airborne.
Edwards is fine with it. Edwards has that smile on his face like he's just wrestling.
Yeah, I like Edwards kind of shook that off.
Right. Coach Parsley does want to have the trainer look at him before they get back on the mat.
Yeah, safety first. Take a look at him, see how he is. He jumped up real quick, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And with a smile.
Yeah, he seemed fine to me. Let me tell you, Benny, if that happened to you or I, they're calling 911.
Wow, yeah. Call my doctor and my attorney in alphabetical order.
I'd be interested to see who could pick me up and throw me like that. But
right.
If anybody did, it'd be 911.
Kelly filling in tonight for the number 1 ranked defending state champ, Greg Baum. Injured his shoulder at the Lancer Invitational up, I think, in Philly last weekend. And I understand Baum's going to probably be out a couple weeks. But, how about this? You lose your defending state champ, your number 1 ranked wrestler, and you got this to fill in. How deep is Smyrna, Trey?
Oh, Smyrna definitely showed their depth there. I was watching JV before this match. They got some tough kids. They're not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, they have 3. We were talking about the last match. They have 3 kids in the building who would be state-ranked guys, football players that didn't come out.
Well, you got the Hutchinsons. They are headed to, just saw on Twitter, Shepherd University, where they're going to play football. Both of them have committed to Shepherd.
Yeah, good for them. It's good to see kids in the state of Delaware taking their talents to the next level. And then they have the Carter boy who
you know what? I saw on Twitter where he was going, and I forget.
Yeah, he just committed to go play somewhere, too.
Right. So Smyrna Eagles, they won. There's back-to-back Division I state football titles to go along with their 4 straight Division I state wrestling titles. And their quarterback, Nolan Henderson, a former wrestler, wrestled up through middle school. He is recommitted to the University of Delaware and Coach Rocco.
Yeah, that's good to see Delaware talent staying home. And I love watching that kid play. And
Gatorade Player of the Year.
Watching Smyrna beat Sally's 2 years in a row. 1 year, and then that was definitely a nice plug for Henlopen Conference. So
4-2 lead by Kelly, Ryan Kelly. I believe he's a junior.
And to me, Benny, Kelly's controlled this entire match, even though it's only a 2-point differential. He's controlled this match, and one of them's a penalty point, one of them's an escape. Does he have that reinforced bar? Does he have it on the other side? I can't see.
Yes, he does have reinforced.
They lost it.
Yeah.
But he throws the boot in on the right side as he loses the reinforced bar. And now he's got the legs in, going cross body, and his time expires. 4-2, Ryan Kelly leads after 1 period at 132 pounds. So Edwards is going to take bottom. And I think, Trey, that pin against Cesar Rodney was a 3rd period. It was late in the match.
It was late. We were winning the whole match, and he got a late pin on us. Happens.
Yes, this kid, again, we talked about Natacola. This kid, Edwards, I think he's 3-3 on the season. Long arms, long legs, and pulls him back down top of himself, and he's going to get a locked hands call as he does it. And with 1:50 to go, Kelly's going to go up 5-2 with the locked hands call.
So I think top is probably Edwards' best position with the cradle. And if you're a cradle guy, man, you can hit a cradle from anywhere. At any time.
That's right.
The score is irrelevant. The position's irrelevant.
I believe we have a missing contact. This looks like the missing contact gesture when they.
Yeah,
Go on the clock.
and you can wrestle with one contact in. You just have to close your left eye.
Delaware has a
whatever.
blind state champion in their history.
Yeah, you have to keep contact with them the whole time when you're
Right.
wrestling. Yeah.
Have you ever wrestled a blind guy?
I wrestled a blind and a deaf guy, but two different guys.
This should be injury time.
Right. Trey wrestled he wrestled a blind guy a couple times as a younger kid, middle school kid.
Yeah.
Kid out of Pennsylvania. It's a different type of match, you know.
Can't break away from them.
Right, as I say, you hate to say it's an advantage to them,
Yeah.
but who wrestles when you're with constant contact? Yeah?
Change my game plan up.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. I'll wrestle. I mean, it didn't bother me in the least. You know, I was happy to wrestle.
Kelly looking to come away, ends up stepping over. And now Edwards trying to roll through. Now Edwards getting some back points here.
Giving
Minute
something
30 to go.
care about too.
I told you it's Edwards kid is dangerous.
I think he's kind of lost it here a little bit, but
Right.
but he gave him two.
Two back.
Two. That's a little bit of a surprise.
That's gonna make it 5-4.
And I think Kelly's kind of regrouping a little bit, catching his breath, and he's going to get back to moving here in a second. If not, he could get
But now he's going
cradled.
for that cross-face cradle.
Yeah.
Kelly hanging on to that wrist.
Kelly looks a tiny bit shook up here for a second.
Yeah.
It takes the wind out of your sails a little bit, get put on your back.
Well, you got to fight on your back. Yeah, this is only his, I believe, his third match of the season. He's 1-1 on the season.
He's working off that cradle.
Yeah, I believe he a little trouble getting down to the weight he wanted to get to. He is certified to go 26. And he's got to be careful switching with his legs not clear. I mean, he's not getting his hips out, and then that's how Edwards poked to the back last time.
He's got his head down now. Yeah.
And we're going to get a potentially dangerous around the throat. And that's going to bring Coach Don Parsley to the bench or to the head table.
And I think he's going to ask for clarification on this. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's checking the score. So I put down Coach Don Parsley was trying to get the score straightened out. They did start on top. He never gave the reversal, so he never gave the reversal in the back. Is the way I coach. It was explained to Coach Parsley by referee Pat Ogden. The Milford people behind us coming to their seat, giving their interpretation of the rule.
I think that's how I saw it also.
I agree.
But I'm not for Milford.
And potentially dangerous. He bends the knee on the funk. 17 seconds go here in the second period. And Kelly's starting to look like he's maybe wearing down a little bit, Scott. And Edwards looks like he's got some gas in the tank.
Yeah, and Edwards looks like he's getting stronger as the match goes on. And Kelly came out really strong. And it's a three-pair. It's all 6 minutes.
Granby roll by Kelly. Looks like he might get one. Comes to his feet. Body lock by Kelly. They can do the edge. And he's going to get the reversal with 6 seconds to go in the second period. Big Granby roll, comes to his feet and gets the body lock. And that's a move. Matter of fact, at our hammers practice, we started working on body locks last week because it's a move that I'm starting to see a lot of people using. Little duck under that body lock. And
yeah, that's a little bit of the Greco influence that you like to see. And if you're going to be a really good wrestler, you got to be well-rounded. You got to have a little leg attack, you got to have a little upper body, a little on bottom, a little on top.
Second period ends 7-4. We go to the
I
third.
need some clarification because I'm so used to college. Can you get swipes out of bounds?
No,
on their
you
back?
cannot in high school.
Okay, so it wasn't. So he made the right call. There's no back points there. College, it's a pin.
Oh, I think college.
It's happened to me a few times.
Falls count anywhere in it.
My last match got pinned on
Last
the other
match
mat.
at college, yeah.
Kid was really tall.
Literally got pinned on the other foam.
That's when I knew it was time to retire.
Yeah, they'll let, as long as you got a toe in, really nothing in, they'll let you wrestle too.
Oh, well, when you're wrestling at 149, you're wrestling a guy that's 6 foot tall.
I'm gonna give him 6'2".
I don't think he was quite that tall.
He's at 165 this year.
Right.
A little disappointed.
He would like to have him with 65 last
Yeah,
year.
that would have been great.
Yeah, but in the last match we did, there was a little controversy on the takedown out of bounds. And they kind of went back and forth, and I know there was a little bit back and forth about it. But I watched the tape, the JT Davis and Vinny Diego match, and I thought that was the right call. at the time. The knees went down.
Right, exactly.
They only had it momentarily.
Got the replay on DE Preps. Somebody put it up there for the replay.
Yeah.
As had some complaining going on, but
I would say that's the only time I found DE Preps to be beneficial was for that.
Yeah,
but,
I believe it was Jeff Stevenson, one of the assistants overseas, Sussex Central, who a little more computer literate than I am, was able to get the.
He got a
clip up
screenshot
there.
of it.
Yeah,
he got the clip and he got a screenshot of it, which is good. And
Ryan Kelly on blood time right now, folks. That's what the holdup is.
I really think, though, as far as calls go for referees, the out of bounds has got to be the hardest part.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
because that's the call. That's the one call you have to make right away.
Yeah.
Especially in high school, when it's kind of can teeter-totter a little bit.
I would love to see the college out of bounds rule come to high school, because I think, number one, it would create more offense in the match, and I think it would eliminate stalling.
Add the stalling rule in there too.
Yeah, the stalling rule. That's what I'm talking. The whole out of bounds rule.
Yeah.
The other thing is, especially when you get bigger guys on this small mat, I mean, they take 2 steps and they're out of bounds.
Get them on a college mat.
Yeah, get them on a college mat, let them wrestle.
Well, that's probably going to be one of the things that's going to prohibit it happening for a while, because if they do go to the college out of bounds rule, they're going to have to go to the college size mat with the college size borders, which is an expense.
And some of these schools have some small circles.
That's right.
They got the bare minimum I've seen.
Well, I was what match was I at the other day where the Maryland Ohio State match they had at
Rest on a high school mat.
Rest on a high school mat, but they put borders around it. They put matting borders around it.
Was that a good counsel?
It was that good counsel, yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to restart the action here. Ryan Kelly leads 7-4 as we start the second period, with Edwards in the bottom position after recovering from the blood time. Folks, we will have a outstanding wrestler of the night at the end of the match, and we'll talk to the winning coach. And we do know, at least we know the winning coach will be a head coach of a defending state championship team.
And that's a big interview.
And I got my vote already for the wrestler of the match, and it's only a third of the way through.
Oh, we got a long way to go. Long way to go. Interesting little fact here. If Don Parsley wins the Division II state title this year, he ties the Rigby's for state titles at Milford. As Dan Rigby won 2 state titles, and Roy Rigby won 80 and 81. Let me tell you something. I wrestled against that 80 and 81 team, and I'll tell you right now, maybe the best team ever in the state of Delaware.
In 81?
81. 6 state champions out of 12 weight classes.
Really? Who were some guys on that team? Do you remember?
Daryl Hicks, Wayne Newsom, Harry Crapper, 2-time or 1-time state champ at 112. They had a kid by the name of Orlando Pettijohn, was a 98-pound state champion. I swear, Scott, he was about 5'8", 5'9", and probably weighed 125 in the summer.
He was good at cutting weight.
Great weight cutter.
He must have been. He may not have been. He just looked big because he looked so tall. But I think he won 2 state titles here at Milford.
The other team that they talk about all the time is that St. Andrews team with the Santoro brothers.
Right,
and
St. Mark's.
St. Mark's, yeah.
They won 7 titles with 14 weight classes, so made it a little bit different. But that Milford team, man, they walked with a purpose and they wrestled with a purpose. They were a very, very tough team.
That's 81, right?
1980. They won back-to-back titles, 80 and 81. So minute 5 to go.
Comparing that, I think it was 99.
Right.
Comparing that 99 St. Mark's team and the 81, Milford did it with kids in out of one town.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kids out of one town.
And I was corrected when I referee Dr. Charlie Wilson. Rick Kelly has him to his back, looking for the pin.
That injury time reinvigorated Kelly, it looks like.
I've always said, coming off any type of injury timeout, there's going to be a 15-second spurt that you got to be aware of. And Edwards does a great job fighting off his back.
Fight off his back there.
With 23 seconds to go. Anyways, back to Charlie Wilson. He sent me a text earlier that Milford, that is maroon and gold. There's no such thing as burgundy here at Milford High School. So he is a former Milford wrestler. He was on one of those Milford teams in the 80-81. And he also let me know, as we were talking earlier, he's one of our biggest fans. Charlie Wilson, he watches us all the time. There's a win by Ryan Kelly, 10-4, as Smyrna takes an 18-5 lead.
Yeah, he's one that probably needs another wing on his house for all the trophies.
There you go. Charlie Wilson tells me that Jaron Carter is committed to West Virginia Wesleyan to play football next year. So
Virginia Wesleyan.
West Virginia Wesleyan was where Jaron Carter, who he would probably be one of the top 6 heavyweights in the state this year if he wrestled.
Yeah, so that's real. I mean, now you're talking about 3 kids that committed to play sports in college that are really 4 that are former wrestlers and good wrestlers for.
So, folks, we moved to 138 pounds. This is one of the matches we circled. J.T. Davis, ranked number 6 in the state at 138 pounds, was maybe seconds away from being ranked number 5. And he's up against Gavin Garcia, the senior, and he's in a switch lift position.
He
takes it the wrong way.
Leg, though. In that position, you want to get that near leg to really tighten it up.
That switch lift, that's a move that we don't see a lot, Trey. You learned that over at McDaniel College, and talk about that a little bit, and how you improve your position in that.
Well, in order for the move to work, you got to straighten that. Well, you get it off an ankle pick, straighten that leg out, and you got to stay on your toes and keep that straight leg heavy, and then you go near leg and kind of flip them over.
Using the
similar, it's in the funk family.
Right, you're using your leg as leverage on their head.
Yes.
To come over,
yeah. You can also get a really tight cradle out of it.
Davis gets the takedowns. He ducks in and gets the double leg or body lock, and he leads Gavin Garcia 2-0.
I personally like it for a near side cradle. Crunches the head to the knee every time.
Right.
J.T. Davis with a little hammer lock there and a little shove out of bounds.
And they go out of bounds with 51 seconds left. And
I like a chippy freshman.
Yeah, we talked a little bit, Scott, about how good is some of our kids here that, in football. Trey talking about switch lift was something we don't see a lot around here. And there's a kid that went away for college and brought something back. So how important it is for our athletes in any sport to go away to college, experience college athletics, and then bring stuff back.
Yeah, you want to talk about what a lot of people consider the father of Henlopen Open Conference wrestling, Herm Bassinelli.
Sure.
Lehigh Valley guy. Wrestled
he's
gotta be careful of that left side. And we're gonna go potentially dangerous. That was on that left side. It looked like he was pulling the hand up between the shoulder blades when he went to run that half.
Yeah, so Herm Bassinelli and the guy that kind of brought wrestling really to Sussex County, and one of only 2 coaches at Sussex Central.
And I understand, Scott. Oh, here comes this reversal by Garcia. And he's going to get at least be 1 here. You're right, Trey. It's going to be an escape as he switches and comes around. And it's going to be 2-1 with 19 seconds to go in the first period. So we said, Scott, this would be one of our featured matches, and so far we've not been disappointed. In on a low single. And we're going to get a potentially dangerous. Didn't like the way he pulled the ankle, I guess. And the fans didn't like the call, so here we go. 17 seconds.
Fans don't like many calls.
No. It's their job not to like calls.
What was he saying about that there?
I think he didn't like the way he was pulling the foot forward. So we'll go with it.
Well, both of them have reached for the far leg on. I think it would benefit both these wrestlers to go near leg on that switch lift.
Right. So here we go. 2 minutes on the clock. We're in the second period. 2-1. J.T. Davis. He's a freshman out of Smyrna. He's had a pretty good season. He's a couple near misses. Early in the season wasn't ranked. Knocked off Luke Harasika out of Salesianum. Got themselves in the rankings. And has been holding that number 6 spot ever since. Reversal off the Granby by Garcia. Nice Granby there. And he learned that from the Granby master, Don Parsley.
Yeah, Parsley's always been really good at teaching the Granbys to a lot of his guys, and standing to a Granby to a go behind. There was a time when that was revolutionary. Now I think that's kind of pretty solid basic wrestling. He's got the double legs in.
Gavin Garcia transferred here from Maryland. He was I want to say Cambridge, South Dorchester, or maybe North Dorchester. I can't remember what Bayside school he was, but he showed up in Milford last year as a junior. Injured late in the season and couldn't finish the season. And this year he's saw him at the Warner Shore going 38, and he said he just couldn't make the cut to 32 anymore. It was too much, and he felt healthier at 138. So this is only his second match back at 138. Lost to Jared Arlett in a close match. Apparently he was winning the other night, and Arlett turned him late and got the win. So caution on bottom. 3-2, Gavin Garcia. And another thing about Gavin Garcia is just a outstanding young man. Always make sure he shakes your hand as you come in the building. He's always very respectful. Folks, we're going to cut to a commercial during this injury timeout. We're going to find out a little bit about Blue Coast Seafood Grill.
Hi, I'm Shannon Colburn, General Manager of Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Bethany Beach.
And I'm Douglas Ruley, Vice President and Chef of Sodell Concepts.
Located on Coastal Highway just north of downtown Bethany Beach, Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar is a landmark restaurant overlooking the beautiful Salt Pond. Some house specialties include fried baby lobster tails, baked oysters, seafood stew, lobster cavatappi, and of course, daily selections of fresh fish and raw oysters.
That's Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Bethany Beach.
Come check us out.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers.
So the blood time's all cleared up. How about that, Scott? You go from Blue Coast Seafood Grill to Hooters of Newark. Interesting combination of back-to-back restaurant commercials there.
Hey, it takes all kinds to make the world go round.
That's right. Scott Cameron here, one of our color commentators tonight. He is the CEO of Sodell Concepts. 10 restaurants, food truck, and I almost got the gig down.
Yeah, so we have 10 restaurants, a catering company, a food truck, all in coastal Delaware, from Lewis to Fenwick. And we also have, I have a management company that manages quite a few sports facilities, and we also have a consulting company, and I run a charity also that supports at-risk kids in Sussex County.
And I will take the liberty to say that if you're not even a high school, college wrestler, if you're an athlete and you're looking for a summer job, check out Sodell Concepts, right, Scott?
Absolutely, and we have quite a few wrestlers, quite a few successful wrestlers. Trey Mitchell's one of our successful wrestlers who moved up, I believe, from dishwasher.
I'm grilling now.
Yeah, he moved up to grill. Yeah, so 5 or 6 years. How many years you work with?
Oh, I was at Sports of the Beach for a while, and I've been like 4 years because of that consulting company.
Yeah.
Over at On the Rocks.
So we move to the third period. Garcia leading 3-2, but folks,
absolutely,
check him out. You're an athlete, you're a wrestler. As long as he has positions, this guy we've talked about this several times because athletes, especially wrestlers, make great employees.
They like to work.
Yeah, they like to work. Yeah, and so this year we have about 1,000 employees, and we're going to hire about 75 new high school kids for the Kent County Sports Complex, not too far from here in Frederick, Delaware.
Right. Escape by JT Davis. It's 3-3, folks. Scott, we said this was a marquee match. These two are going after it. 3-3, minute 42 to go here. Davis locking up a near side cradle. Got the takedown.
Leg.
And he's going to step behind the leg.
What do you think? Backs?
That's swipes.
He's getting them right now. Garcia, he's in danger of a pin.
That's a pin.
And gets the fall. Third period, pinned by JT Davis. He's ranked number 6 in the state at 138 pounds. He gets the pin, and the Eagles go up 24-5.
And that was 3-3, and we were talking about earlier, cradle is a lightning strike.
Absolutely.
From any position.
That right there was Gavin letting up late in the match.
Right. So here we go to 145 pounds. And I think Garcia, we talk about the weight cut. Now he's got to start to get comfortable with moving up in a weight class. Correct, Trey?
Yes, it's a whole different ballgame now. You have a lot of energy moving up, but they're going to be bigger and stronger up there, obviously.
That's right. Here we go, 145 pounds. Number 1, Chase Arcangelo, 2-time state champion for the Smyrna Eagles. He's up against Alex Cressy. I believe Alex is a 3-time state place winner. He's currently ranked number 4 in the state, and Cressy is in on a single, looking to go behind, trying to create an angle. And Arcangelo reaching inside that leg. Might see a spladle in our future here, and we're going to get a potentially dangerous.
And you see state champs a lot of times super stingy on giving up points.
Right.
So instead of giving up, bailing out, giving up to 2, he stayed. The potentially dangerous, I'm not sure what happened there. And Coach Parsons a little confused himself.
Right.
But this is a marquee matchup, number 1 against number 4, 145.
45's tight, too. Maybe not as deep as some other weight classes, but, that 1 through 6 is pretty tight. Well, Arcangelo being, right now heads above everybody because bottom line is nobody's even scoring points on him.
Yeah, and that wasn't even that great of a shot, and he's still in there.
Right.
It was really just a straight ahead double with no setup.
Chase Arcangelo is headed to Cleveland State next year, committed to Cleveland State for the Vikings. And Alex Cressy, he gets that ankle. He's got him in some trouble. I haven't seen a match yet where where Archangelo's even given up a point. He beat, he shut out Bean. He shut out kid from Dover. We're going to go stalemate.
That's a really early call. See, to me, Arcangelo took a bad shot. Creasy's trying to make him pay for it,
right,
and he calls it right away. That's. But I will say he's been consistent on that all night.
Right.
You know.
He could have let develop for a few more seconds. But
a double leg shot by Arcangelo. He slides in, steps up to create the angle, and good defense there by Cressy to fight that attack off.
You know, the other way to look at it is that he thinks at the start he's giving the kid a chance to attack again. You know.
Right.
So. Arcangelo backing in another shot.
Good one this time.
He's in on a double. He switches that off to a double. Gets the takedown with 21 seconds to go in the first period. Chase Arcangelo up 2-0. And as I was saying, I haven't in the matches I've covered, I haven't seen Arcangelo give up a point yet. I know he has during the season, but I haven't seen him give up a point in these big matches when he's wrestling the ranked wrestlers. That just shows how dominant he can be.
And he's going right to the tilt.
Just a little cheap tilt, and he's going to get 2 swipes and get 2 back, and he's going to go 4-0 into the second period.
Scoring at the end of the periods is
devastating.
Devastating. So 4-0 is completely different match than 2-0 in a battle of ranked wrestlers.
And Cressy's going to take top here, down 4-0, second period, 145.
When a guy takes top, that goes against the convention. You think he's either good on top or he really doesn't want to be on bottom.
Now, you know what I like here, Scott, is Milford does have another 45-pounder. And, Cressy could have taken the easy route, going to 52. He didn't. He came out. He's taken on the 2-time state champ.
Yeah,
in a match that's, it's kind of out of hand, so go out there and get the experience.
Yeah, you never know because it's hard to beat a guy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row. So, you start wrestling these premier.
Get as many chances as you can.
Yeah, you get as many chances as you can. You might figure something out, learn something off the tape, and put something together.
Oh, double leg shot by Arcangelo. He's in deep. That's a takedown. That's 6-0. Minute 20 to go in the second period.
And Arcangelo's loosening up and now a little bit, and I think he's wrestling a little less conservative.
Well, usually, we watched him against Cape. It was a little slow, and then he started out of nowhere throwing up points.
He might be a kid that needs to warm up really, really good. Like be breaking a sweat. I know Trey's a big proponent of warming up really good and breaking a sweat.
Get your first match in your warm-up.
That's right. See, I mean, if you're going to practice for 2 hours, you know what I mean, and you can get through 2 hours of practice, you can warm up and break a sweat and wrestle for 6 minutes.
And you typically wrestle live at the end of practice, so.
Yeah.
40 seconds to go here in the second period. Arcangelo leads 10-0. And I believe he has beaten all the wrestlers ranked below him. I know he beat McDonough 6-0. He beat Lee. Not sure what that score was. He majored Bean. I think 10-0, wasn't it, Scott?
Yeah, I think it was 8-0.
Yeah, I got a major there. Now he's already built a major here against Cressy, who's number 4 ranked. So he's just running right through the guys below him. And here gets the reinforced bar. Going to tilt it up with 6 seconds left in the period.
He's going to score again.
He's going to score again. So that's twice he scored at the end of the period. Gets 2. He's up 12-0.
Yeah, so he's going to take down. So an escape will give him 13. So a takedown would finish it. Unless you go for a reversal and try and turn him.
And he comes to his feet, clears, cuts, and scores. He's up 13-0. Shot by Cressy.
I think sometimes a shot's the best defense.
Right. And there he is, go behind. And gets the tech fall. 11 seconds into the third period. And that's going to put Smyrna 29-5 lead. So so far the only guy to get on the board for the Bucks' roster. So we move to 152 pounds. Again, I think this could be a good mascot. We have a unranked Kyrie Hovington who's having a good late part of the season. And he's going up against number 3, Nate Bryant. Like we said earlier, we watched him in the Cape match. And he went out, built up a great lead, and then it looked like Dante Jacquette was going to take the match from him late.
Yeah, and actually, I think with about 20 seconds left, Brian turned it back on and got a takedown and turned the tide. So, I mean,
but Jacquette was taking him down and cutting him late in the match.
Yeah, which was strange because he was losing by 9 at one point, and he was taking it, and he took him down. cut him 3 times.
And there's a takedown by Bryant, lifts him with a high half. And we get a potentially dangerous. So with a minute 35 to go here in the first period, Nate Bryant leads 2-0. And 152, Nate Bryant, if he could put together 4 good matches at the end of the season, he could win a state title at 152. He's got the Griffith kid from Timmy Griffith from Sanford ahead of him, and Brian Schneider from Middletown. He lost to Schneider at the Milford Invitational, 4-2.
Cradle. He lost it though.
Lost to Snyder 4-2, and that was the match where he had 3 back points taken away because the referee missed a trap arm lift, and they put the bad time on the clock and finished the match. He ended up losing 4-2. He was up 5-2 at the time.
I'm sure it was just a misunderstanding.
Right. So there's a potential semifinal big state matchup. if he can win the Helen Open Conference. One of the few weight classes where there's an upstate guy ranked 1 and 2 is 152. Griffith from Sanford ranked number 1. Schneider from Middletown ranked number 2. Right now, Bryant holds a 2-0 lead. 50 seconds left here in the first period.
He's got the reinforced bar too.
He's got to get that knee up on that tilt to create that pocket.
Got to elevate. 1 and 1, no backs, right? Oh, he's holding 2.
Kyrie Hovington, the younger brother of Dominic Hovington, ranked number 3 at 220. Kyrie worked a lot in the off season when we were running the spring summer program here. He was here almost every night. He would go out, Scott, and work out with the soccer team from like 3 to 5, and then come inside and wrestle from 6 to 8.
Yeah, and if you want to be great at something, it's there for you.
That's right.
And the hard work trumps a lot of things in life. Hard work trumps a lot of things.
Hovington not quite there yet, just a sophomore, but put himself on the varsity this year of the 3-time defending state champs. So he made a gain there. So we'll see how interesting to see how his career is going to pan out.
Yeah, and you think about kids a lot of times, like making a team and making it through the whole year is an accomplishment, and then making JVs an accomplishment, and then making the varsity, and then placing in conferences, and eventually being a state champ. It's all necessary steps in the progress of where you're trying to go in life.
Funny story about making progress. Finally, after years, talked Trey into going. Trey tell you a story, and then going out for cross country. And I said, don't go out there and try to make the team. Just go out there and get yourself in shape for wrestling. He said, "Oh, you're right, Dad. You're right, Dad." Came home 2 days of practice. He goes, "I think I can make the top 5."
Top 5, yeah. I run this whole place. I'm in charge now.
Right.
Yeah. But that's a wrestler mentality for you right there.
It was a great experience.
Did you make it through the whole season?
Yeah, I worked up to number 3 on the team, but I had to start cutting weight for certifications and wrestling, so I fell off a little bit.
Cross country is something that can become like a lifestyle choice.
Yeah. Not mine.
Not mine either.
Yeah.
You know how different my life would be if I ran cross country instead
I
of
could drive cross country. I don't know if I could walk cross country. Nate Bryant, 4-0 lead.
Deep power
half right here.
Got to reinforce that.
Oh. Hovington squirmed out.
That was interesting. Hovington locked his own hands to stop that power half.
Ooh, nice crossface.
Big crossface.
You do that too much, though, you're going to get banged for stalling for it.
Stalling, 3 backs.
What?
Cradle by Bryant. Brings it back. 50 seconds to go. They're in the center of the mat.
Oh, man.
He's got them all cradled up right here.
Got to get that knee under there.
He's waving the finger, maybe.
Let's see it.
And there's the pin. In 3 minutes and 20 seconds, Nate Bryant, currently ranked number 3 in the state at 152 pounds. He gets the pin. And the Eagles go up 35-5, which is going to move us to 160 pounds.
Where we have Dakota Kerr, ranked number 4, 160 from Smyrna. Benny.
Yeah, Dakota Kerr. I got. We've been talking about. Talked to Coach Buxton, and Avery Mayan is going back up to 160. When you have 2 wins over the defending state champ Brandon Bautista, and then Kerr beats him the other night pretty handedly in the duel. Beats Avery Mayan.
Dakota Kerr did.
Dakota Kerr did.
Yeah.
And Kerr, we watched him against Lawson. He wrestled a really good first 2 periods, and we even questioned going neutral in the third where Lawson took him down 3 times. It was a 2-0 match, and Kerr twice almost exposed Lawson with his legs.
Yeah, and I was surprised he took neutral. I thought that was an interesting decision, and I watched Lawson beat up on Avery pretty significantly.
Right.
So that matchup, you got kind of a long, lanky guy against a stocky guy, and Batista's one of my favorites. So he's just so explosive. That match between Lawson and Batista was really good.
He's got 2 losses to two ranked wrestlers, and him and Kerr haven't met yet. Kerr lost to Batista 1-0 at the Beast of the East, and Kerr looking for the pin. He gets it in 1 minute 9 seconds, and the Eagles are just rolling right now. They've locked up this dual meet as they now lead 41-5, and a pretty good matchup coming here. Larson Wilson, the defending state champ at 170 pounds, and he's going to take on, I think, a kid that's potentially one of the most dangerous wrestlers in the upper weights in Kajay Reynolds. He's lost a lot of matches to the ranked guys close, but this kid, you lock up top, he's going to throw you.
Yeah, and to me, Larson's got to come out and start hot. I think he, last year he started the season kind of slow and then ended up hot at the end of the season.
Right.
And I think he does that sometimes in matches too. Starts a little slow and then speeds up. Capey came out firing though, man.
Right.
Here he goes, comes out firing here.
Oh, 170 pounds, Larson in on a slow single. And Kajay looking like he wanted to wrap up that mixer there, Trey.
Yeah, I like that, man. Run the pipe, cut the corner right there.
Takedown by Larson Wilson. He's up 2-0. We know father Charlie Wilson watching somewhere. I don't know if it's at home or school or at work or what. And we're going to get a tilt heel by Wilson. I think Wilson's the kid that he does have an overtime loss to Montgomery this year, but he is a kid that if he gives you 6 minutes of this, he's unbeatable, I think.
Yeah, he looks good here in the first 45 seconds of this match. Up 5-1.
Yeah, it looks real solid attacks.
And Trey, you commented last year when you came home from Christmas break from college, you stopped in the Milford practice, and you were talking about how like the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, Coach Parsley had them all over-unders and just throwing each other all over the room. That's how they started practice.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy throwing for that one. I was coming back to get some. They're throwing a lot, and they're good at it.
Yeah, they're very good at it. As I said, at any time, Kajay Reynolds, Brevensky, Augustin, they can throw you. Bennett can throw you at any time. And we're going to get injury time green. So, folks, we're going to take another commercial timeout. We'll be right back with the 170-pound action.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
This place is for everybody. Actually, my entire family signed up. So my wife, my children, my young son comes in. My son's only 10. They have the kids classes. They have the fitness class. If you're just looking primarily to get in shape. Obviously, the jiu-jitsu class is what I come here for.
Every time I walk through that door, I'm unbelievably happy, that I'm here. Just a reminder of all the energy and effort that I've put in.
Even if you just watch a class first, you won't know until you try.
This place is for everybody. Actually, my entire family signed up. So my wife, my children, my young son comes in. My son's only 10. They have the kids classes. They have the fitness class. If you're just looking primarily to get in shape. Obviously, the jiu-jitsu class is what I come here for.
Every time I walk through that door, I'm unbelievably happy, that I'm here. Just a reminder of all the...
So welcome back, folks. Finger to the eye there for Kajay Reynolds. Got some saline in there and has it all cleaned out, and we're ready to go. Back at action as Larson Wilson leads 5-1 with 37 seconds to go in the second period.
Yeah,
we're at 170 pounds.
At this point, you want to see somebody really dominate the ties and impose their will, and there you
have
it.
Nice elbow pass to the high crotch.
Pass to the high crotch, yeah. Reynolds is looking to throw, Benny. You're right about that, man.
Yeah, he gets an over-under. He gets a mixer.
Got that look in his eye,
He gets a side headlock. He is going to throw you.
Looking for the home run.
Yeah, he's looking to throw. Wilson's hips are probably a little bit too good to get tossed by
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
So we go to the third period here. Or no, I'm sorry, second period, 5-1, Larson Wilson. Smyrna Eagles, they lead the duel right now, 41-5. So what we thought was going to be a exciting matchup, and they start winning those toss-ups in the middle, those close matches in the middle, and now we know that the Bucks don't have their full complement of their top wrestlers available in the upper weight. So, what was going to be an exciting match could end up being a blowout here. It already is, 41-5.
Yeah, and I had this match 32-26 Smyrna going in, and it did not go that direction.
No.
And we haven't even gotten to the point where the two kids didn't wrestle yet. That two of their higher-ranked guys.
5-2 here lead for Larson Wilson, looking to get that Russian tie. He threw that from the far side and went far side attack on that high crotch. Shot by Reynolds, not there. Nice stuff by Wilson.
With a reshot by Wilson. Got stretched out a little bit, though.
And there you're right to that over-under. He's going to lock up a cradle on this. Now Wilson's able to break the cradle.
Wilson held on to that elbow.
Minute to go here in the second period. At 170, elbow pass to a high crotch. Now he's in low to a double and gets the takedown. He goes up 7-2.
That's a third different takedown he's used, too.
And this is the point at Cape Scott where we saw Wilson kind of go into that coast mode and almost got caught up, able to hold on to the end. And I think this is where this last 3 minutes is where he has to become just as explosive as he does in the first two. Watch out, here comes the spladle.
Looking to spladle. And he's got it. Wow.
That's not good.
Kajay can't get pinned here, though. His shoulders aren't down.
He's not even getting backs. He's up on those shoulders, so on his belly.
Larson's got to create some space with his hips.
And there he does. Good job.
Oh, my.
Got to get that shoulder down. There it is.
Wow.
And time expires. Gets
Had
the
his
three.
shoulders on his body.
That's a flexibility check right there.
Right. Now, I believe, didn't the big brother hit a spladle to win the conference title? Or was that a side headlock?
I don't remember.
It was a big move. I remember that. He was limping all around the mat. Got outstanding wrestler. It was right here in this gym.
Yeah. I do remember the Granby to the Peterson.
That was last year in the state finals for Larson. Yeah.
Larson, yeah.
In overtime.
In overtime, yeah. Now the popular call, Benny.
No, not at all.
The arm wasn't trapped. I mean,
it looked awkward, though. It did look a little awkward. I will say that. It didn't quite look right.
A penalty point for Wilson. He goes up 11-2. And now he gets a skate and makes it 12-2.
When you lift a guy, you're responsible for bringing him back safely to the mat. So.
Yeah, you're right.
It was an awful soft landing.
Yeah, it looked strange.
Larson landed the way he was supposed to land.
Yeah.
What you taught. Everyone's looking for their safety.
Well, we're used to watching 4 years of college straight where I don't think they call slams.
Yeah, I'm used to getting drops sometimes, drops to people. So it's adjustment. But I'm all about safety, so good call.
Minute 13 to go here in the third period. 12-2. Larson Wilson leads over Kajay Reynolds. Reynolds in on a single, but Wilson's got an underhook locked around the body on an overhook on the other side. And they break away 50 seconds to go. So it looks like Wilson's going to cruise to a major decision, hold that number 2 ranking in the state.
It'd be nice to see another takedown here from Wilson just to finish strong. Try and pick up one more at the end here.
32 seconds to go. And, Reynolds, he's still looking to lock something up and throw it.
Yeah, Reynolds' game plan hasn't really changed a whole lot. He's looking to throw.
He came out of the locker room with this game plan.
He's ready to throw somebody.
And we're going to get a double stall with 18 seconds left. Kajay Reynolds, the punter on the football team. Shot by Wilson, stuffed by Kajay Reynolds. 5 seconds to go, and it's going to end 12-2. Major decision by Larson Wilson, and the Eagles build to a 45-5 lead as we move to 182 pounds. Number 2 ranked Hunter Moyer up against, I think it was Dylan Biddles, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, the number 6 ranked wrestler for Milford, Augustine, is not wrestling tonight. I guess he's got an injury.
Bad, yeah, he has shoulder injury.
Yeah.
So we moved to 182 pounds. And quick takedown by Moyer. You know, Scott, we talked about the other week, or this week we were talking about Moyer, and I'm not sure how to explain him. He doesn't show a lot of flash. He's a
grinder.
Very grinder. Yeah, I was going to say a grinder. And it's like he builds leads. You just don't see it coming. You know, he's just, and here he just goes both legs in the boots. And
the double legs are a great equalizer.
Right. And now he's got a half, and he's jacking that arm up.
He's going to pick up a pin here.
Should get the pin here.
Plenty of time, minute 16 to go.
Hey.
And Biddles fights out. And now little cross space to get him over. And they're getting some more swipes here, minute 5 to go.
Could be in trouble here.
Got the double grapes in and gets the fall. So Hunter Moyer, the number 2 ranked wrestler in state, with a minute 1 second fall. Makes it 51-5. And we're going to move to 195 pounds, where we have the number 1 ranked Tony Wiest from Smyrna. And he's up against Avante Bennett.
Right.
From Milford. So here
Stay
we
on
go.
the throws.
Yes. Don't tie up. Body lock.
Oh.
And
step through throw by Wiest. Referee Pat Ogden looking for the fall here.
I don't think Avante read the scouting report correctly.
No. And that's a pin by Tony Wiest. Probably, maybe right now, one of the most prolific pinners in the state right now.
Yeah, I don't know when the last match in state he hasn't pinned somebody.
That's right. Here we go. So we're going to move to 220. And this here, Scott, could be an interesting match. Diaz getting his second action this year for the Bucks. His first action, runner-up at the Polytech tournament at heavyweight. So here we go. Anthony Diaz filling in for Dominique Hovington up against Andrew D. Benedictus. Takedown by Diaz. So we're going to get a little insight into next year, Scott. And must be a fan favorite.
I'm not sure what I'm seeing here.
Seeing
what did I just say?
Aggressive, like single to a double. And I'll tell you what you're seeing.
That's not what I thought I was going to say.
You're seeing a sophomore wanting to make a name for himself out here in his first match.
I love it. Yeah, he went right from one to the next.
And it's my understanding that he is probably going to assume the role of 220 for the Bucks, as from what I heard tonight, Hovington making the descent to 195 late in the season. We go out of bounds, 2-0. Anthony Diaz. As I told you, Diaz won at least one, possibly two middle school conference tournaments. I know he won one his 8th grade year. So we talk about the depth of Smyrna down low, or in the middle. Look at the depth of Milford up top.
Yeah, middle school sometimes, Helena Conference middle school championships are no joke, and they're a good indicator of future performance.
Diaz releases to Benedictus, makes him the point. It's up 2-1. And seems to have slowed down a little bit from that first 15 seconds, Trey.
You can't keep up with that pace.
No,
right? You can't keep up with
yes, you can. I went and did Laurel Delmar the other night, and that's how they wrestled all night long. Of course, now a lot of the matches ended in first period pins.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even the matches that didn't, they were going, oh, my goodness, these two teams with that. And those guys are dangerous.
Absolutely.
You got a guy, 195 pounds, that can go. He may not know a whole lot, but he's slapped together and athletic, and he has 6 minutes of wrestling in him.
Yeah, well, and especially if they don't, if they're not constrained by the norms of typical wrestling,
right.
if you don't really know, You know?
You're just a side headlock away from winning.
Yeah, at any moment, from any position. This is a shock to me. 57-5
right.
at 220. I mean, am I naive or is this a shocking outcome?
I think there's a little bit of shocking outcome. I think Smyrna won all the close matches.
And they've gotten bonus points for all close matches. There have been late pins in the close ones.
Here comes a side headlock by Diaz. Able to get his hips, pretty good hips. What about those hips for that 220 pounder, Scott? It looked like he was going to get rolled through, and he reversed his direction and got the takedown.
And let me tell you, he's up 4-1. He's looking for some more here. I think he's on the offensive.
Well,
I mean, it seems like the fourth period, but it's only the second here.
He's wearing Jordan Burroughs. I mean, he's
got to shoot.
Yeah.
He's coming hard, man. He's coming in hot.
And looking like he's going to get him exposed here.
He could make some noise at 220.
Yes, he can. Got a deep half on the right-left side. He's going for the fall. Oh! Letting the crowd know he's here.
He better get the pin now.
That's right.
Hey, you ain't in middle school anymore.
He might regret that one day.
Yeah. So he could be a crowd favorite, though, Benny.
Scott, this kid could fill in and be one of the top 3 or 4 in 220 in the Hell Open this year.
Parsley's on him.
Benny, Parsley's telling him, hit him or no dinner.
Right.
Hit him or no dinner, son. Parsley likes that. That's a pin. That's a pin.
There it is. Pin for Anthony Diaz. The sophomore steps into the lineup. At 157 pounds, gets a pin in 3 minutes and 3 seconds to stop the bleeding. It's now 51-11.
Really gave the crowd something to cheer about.
Right. Well, and here they go. They're number 3 ranked heavyweight in the state. And Scott, he's only 1 point from being the number 1 ranked heavyweight in the state. He dropped a match to Zach Flores of Cape Henlopen at the Battle of at the Beach, and a 1-0 match. He was ranked number 1 at the time. And he's another kid that's been on a mission. He won the War in the Shore tournament, and we're going to see that rematch next week.
Yeah, and Flores is a tough opponent because he really doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he plays it conservative. And if he can score a couple points, he's going to hold on to that lead and beat you. So this match was a close match.
With Flores and
Flores and Taylor.
Taylor, 1-0 match. I thought Taylor wrestled an excellent match. I mean, the kid, never really showed any attack, but his hand fighting and his moving his feet were so key in that match. Kept off, no stalling calls that match.
He's got good hips and good feet, and he keeps his hands and he keeps good position. So, that's the basis for a good heavyweight.
And Trey, you're big on the hand fight. When you came back from college, you're big on how important hand fighting is at every weight.
The hand fight's just going to set you up for that setup, which is going to set you up for your shot. So it's like a setup to the setup, I guess. It's just it sets the tone for the match. It gets you in position, gets them out of position. I think it's one of the most important parts of wrestling.
And I like to see the hand fighting and heavy on the head.
Right.
And that opens up your whole offense. It opens up everything for you.
Well, when Trey came home from college this year and was talking about Henlopen Hammers practice, he said if he's going to be there, he said he doesn't care how young they are. They're going to learn the hand fight because they're going to have to be able to hand fight as they advance in the next level.
Yes. Yep. Might as well teach them young.
Yeah, you got 5 and 6 year olds out there learning how to hand fight. They're not doing a very good job of it, but they're learning how to do it.
They're learning.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when you're hand fighting too, you don't get called for stalling.
Right.
Keeps you active. As long as your hands and feet are moving, you're staying active, not really stalling.
Allegedly.
Yes, correct.
Well,
Gotta make it look good.
There's stalling and there's strategic stalling. My hand fighting is my strategy not to get called.
Hold position of hand fight.
4 seconds to go here. 0-0 first period. Again, Taylor, another good job against a top-ranked heavyweight. And Williams is going to go down right away.
The disparity between Smyrna and the other top teams in the state is
absolutely
really surprising.
So it makes me wonder about this match coming up. We're doing next Friday with we got to have locked hands on Taylor. With Sussex Central and Smyrna.
I haven't run the points on that yet, recently, but when I did it earlier in the season, I had it close.
Yeah.
But now that Smyrna's had 2 big matches and won every single toss-up, maybe you got to reevaluate what the toss-up
Well,
is.
in my interview with Coach Howe after the Cape match, he said that, we're not, I'm not the kind of coach that reads the message boards and, listens to the chatter on social media. He says, but when these teams and the people chatter, because everybody wants to see Smyrna get beat, and when you're the top team, that happens. When you're the Patriots, nobody wants to see the Patriots win. So you're the top guy, right? You're the top guy. He said, this year he let his kids listen to it. He fed it to them. His kids walked in the Cape, fed off the comments that they read in social media. So as a coach of a team against Smyrna, stay off social media. And there's the escape by Wines. That's going to give him a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that lock in hands is pretty strategic.
That is pretty huge, yeah. Minute 30 to go here in the second period. 57-11, the Eagles lead. This is Henlopen Conference action, folks. Northern Division versus Southern Division. Smyrna, Henlopen North Conference, and Milford in the Henlopen South. And again, I'm just, this Taylor kid just keeps you off his legs.
His feet, he's moving his feet, he's snapping, he's got good hand control. I mean, this is a 1 takedown match right here with a minute left in the second period. Wines hasn't really made any mistakes, though. He's keeping good position.
Well, I think what Wines is going to do now, I'm up 2-0 in a 57-11 dual meet, so I just got to stay in good position to win this match.
Yeah. Well, I like to see Wines go on the offensive a little bit here.
Well, he won the war on the shore. Wrestled a kid from, here comes an attempt by a throw by Taylor, and Wines just steps aside and takes him down. Hey, I believe he won a 2-0 match against the kid from Nasman River, who was a big, huge, he is every bit of 285, and Wines just pressured him.
There's nothing wrong with Taylor taking a chance there.
No, absolutely. And Wines looking for the pin here at 285.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go. Sinks in that deep half Nelson. 3 seconds. He's not going to get it here. But he's going to get the takedown in the backs. He goes up 7-0. And folks, immediately after this match, we're going to cut to a commercial. And when we come back, we're going to have the outstanding wrestler of tonight's match and Coach Kurt Howe, as he's 1 step closer to that 5th state title. Oh, sweep single by Wines.
Stop that. By far the best shot of the match.
And we're going to get a potentially dangerous. Definitely a good call there, as Taylor's ankle and hips were going in 2 totally different directions.
Heavyweights don't rubber knee well in high school.
No.
Taylor didn't seem too bothered by it, though.
No. Minute 41 to go in the match. Wines ranked number 3 in the state, and he's a guy that he could win a state title this year. Last year had a disappointing state tournament.
What's your scouting report on the guy from AI that placed at the Beast, Jones?
Watched him wrestle as a young kid, very aggressive, fast-paced heavyweight. But I've noticed here lately a lot of his scores have been close against unranked guys. So, another sweep single by Wines. And I don't believe him and Wines wrestled.
See, I think Wines needs to develop that sweep single. He needs to go right to the
there you go, yeah. Get to the backside. He does it.
Get to the backside, right.
Gets the takedown.
He needs to transition there a little quicker, though.
Right.
Not give the guy time to set up a D. Now, this surprised me, this outcome.
Yeah, well,
nothing.
When he got the 2-0 lead, Taylor had to open up a little bit, led to that throw. It was going to be a little arm throw, but Wines felt it coming, stepped aside, and then put him to his back. I think he sees blood.
Smells blood or sees it?
I think he's pointing to his thing. I think he was worried about there's maybe blood on him.
If it's there, it's his own.
The inside wrist brings it out. And he's a little bit like Zach Parker in this position here, Scott. He likes to bring that fist across the back. But now he's going to run. He's going to run a bar.
Wow. Oh, my.
That's what you call headstand defense there. Taylor just got up on his head.
30 seconds left. What do you think?
He gets the pin. 5 minutes and 33 seconds. 57-17. And that is your match, folks. So we're going to take a commercial, and we'll be right back with our outstanding wrestler. Who is it?
Solo Concepts is the premier restaurant group in Southern Delaware. We have 8 restaurants from Lewis all the way down to Fenwick. We have a catering company, a food truck, a soda company, a film company, and a management and a consulting company. We believe in beautiful, simple food. We like to develop the people we work with, and at the same time we have a little bit of a higher mission, and we're trying to make the world a better place. And we have a group of people that every day wake up and they get after, and they're all focused on one thing, and they're trying to make a great company, and we're trying to make the Culinary Coast a national focus for the United States as a food destination. I think we've done a really good job of that in the past few years. The daily grind of the restaurant can be very difficult. You're dealing with alcohol, food, and people. Those are 3 highly volatile things. So sometimes it's better to have a little bit of a higher calling, a little bit of a higher purpose, that as a group we're trying to get together, stick together, and be about something. And for us, it kind of gets us through the hard seasons and the hard times that we can rely on each other. We have about 150 full-time year-round employees, and then every season we hire, I think this year we hired about 270 people. So we have 270 seasonal people spread out throughout the whole county. And for me, it's great. And some of these people started out as 15-year-old busboys working with us, and now they're lawyers and doctors and business executives throughout the world, and they still come back and they have a relationship with us. So it's been a really nice experience for us that we're so connected to the community, and we can develop people on so many different levels. We want to support the people that we work with. We want all of our employees to have what they need to grow and be professional. And we may open 10 more restaurants. We may open 100 more restaurants. But all we know at the end of the day is we want to stick together, and we have a great group of people, and I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of everybody. This is a really trying year, and it's a testament to the team that Matt put together that we flourished after a tragedy. And the stronger and better we can make Southern Delaware, the better our restaurant group's going to be.
And folks, welcome back to Milford High School and our outstanding wrestler of tonight's match, 138-pounder JT Davis from Smyrna High School. And JT, big pin there over Gavin Garcia, bumping up, I guess about 2 weeks ago. He came up from 132 pounds, was previously ranked. You're right there on that number 6 spot. A couple close matches have kept you down there at number 6. But talk a little bit about that match tonight, because it was back and forth, and then in the third period you just turned it on and got the pin. Go through about your match a little bit.
Came out looking for offense, trying to score. Got the first takedown, got escaped at the end, kind of got a little sloppy there. Went to the second, chose bottom. He scrambled out, got a reversal. Held me down for a little bit, but in the third, I knew I could get out, chose bottom. Threw the legs off, shot in, the cradle was there, and just took it.
The last couple of weeks, you guys have just, you walked in the Cape, and you blew them out. You came in here against Milford, the defending Division II state champs, and you blew them out. Now you got the big one, 2 big ones coming up next week, Cesar Rodney and Sussex Central, and that's going to be 2 big matches from you. Good chance that you might see a Jackson Dean and a Morris from Sussex Central. Talk about how you're going to prepare for next week.
I'll just go back into practice room, wrestle hard, get with Chase, work real tough, come out there with a solid game plan, just wrestle hard.
Folks, JT Davis, 138-pounder from Smyrna High School, and he is our outstanding wrestler of tonight's dual meet. With the Eagles winning 57-17, Davis ranked number 6 in the state at 138 pounds. He's got 2 big ones next week coming up, and we will have both those matches. So, folks, stay with us. I'll be right back with wing coach Kurt Howell. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Scott
Did you get his
Cameron
picture?
of Soto Concepts.
And I'm Jen
My wife's going to get your picture for me,
We'd
right?
love to invite you to check us out for your wedding or next event.
And when you go over there, just tell Coach I need to see him when he's done with those guys.
Expertly taking care of all the food and service details so you don't have to. Our professional team will work with you to create a one-of-a-kind event, whether it be on the beach, farm to table, or at your home. Whatever the venue or occasion, Plate Catering is here to help you make it the best it can be.
Good one.
Plate Catering from Soto
Salads,
Concepts.
tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of Frio2Sports.com. Remember, you can always order online to take home our world-famous wings. It's your couch, our wings. Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
The energy and effort that I've put in.
Even if you just watch a class first, you won't know until you try.
This place is for everybody. Actually,
Hi, I'm Shannon Colburn, General Manager of Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Bethany Beach.
And I'm Douglas Ruley, Vice President and Chef of Sodell Concepts.
Located on Coastal Highway just north of downtown Bethany Beach, Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar is a landmark restaurant overlooking the beautiful Slot Pond. Some house specialties include fried baby lobster tails, baked oysters, seafood stew, lobster cavatappi, and of course, daily selections of fresh fish and raw oysters.
That's Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Bethany Beach.
Come check us out.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts.
And I'm Danae from Matt's Fish Camp.
Come check us out.
Matt's Fish Camp is the small local fish joint with 2 locations on Coastal Highway in North Bethany Beach and Lewis, where we serve up traditional coastal fare and a casual atmosphere with house specialties like colossal crab cakes, lobster rolls, and fried Ipswich clams, along with crowd pleasers like fish and chips, fried shrimp, and a daily selection of fresh caught fish. Matt's Fish Camp, serving up lunch and dinner 7 days a week, all year.
Locations in Bethany Beach and Lewis, Delaware. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts.
And I'm Danae from Matt's Fish Camp.
Come check us out.
Matt's Fish Camp is the small local fish joint with 2 locations on Coastal Highway in North Bethany Beach and Lewis, where we serve up traditional coastal fare and a casual atmosphere with house specialties like colossal crab cakes, lobster rolls, and fried Ipswich clams, along with crowd pleasers like fish and chips, fried shrimp, and a daily selection of fresh caught fish. Matt's Fish Camp, serving up lunch and dinner 7 days a week, all year.
Locations in Bethany Beach and Lewis, Delaware. See you soon.
And welcome back, folks. I'm here with winning coach Kurt Howe. And Kurt, outstanding wrestler of the night, we picked J.T. Davis. And not only, Gavin Garcia is nobody to sneeze at. And he, back and forth match, third period, he just took it to him and got the pin.
Yeah, JT's one of those guys on our team that's coming around. You know, I told our guys before this match, I said, I'm doing a little science experiment here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the program that we're doing is designed to, not really be, good at the beginning, but I went through the lineup and so is coming around, and I said, the experiment tonight is to see if, certain guys have some big matches tonight, and to see, my hypothesis is that we're getting better and we're doing better, and if JT wins tonight, then that would be, my experiment was, my hypothesis is true. That
right.
We're definitely getting better as a team, and each individual is getting better.
Right. 2 big wins for you back to back. You go down a couple weeks ago. You knock off Cape Henlopen. You kind of beat up on the Division II state champs here tonight. I was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, the last 3 years, only 2 teams have walked out with the crown. It was you guys, and you guys flexed your muscles tonight. And now next week's big match week. You got Caesar Rodney on Wednesday, Sussex Central on Friday, and a guy like J.T. Davis, he's gonna have his hands full next week, and he might have to be the kind of guy that steps up and does it for you.
Right. Well, with Sussex Central, we look at. I think everybody can look at the matchups, and there's a lot of really toss-ups in
sure.
there, and it could go. The match could go our way in a big way, or the dual meet could go their way in a big way.
Or it could come down to the last match.
There could.
Right.
There's all kinds. It's going to be real exciting. And
right.
You're right. JT is the guy on the hot seat there in those matches, and really looking forward to it. This is exciting. It's always exciting to be in the mix like this,
right?
And to have other teams that are that good they're they're challenging and think they can win, and Sussex Central is a good team. We just I think I just watched your 302 broadcast of their match with Cape, and it was taking all kinds of notes, but they're certainly a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, everybody knows the Smyrna line. They know Natacall, they know Kelly, they know Davis, Arcangelo, Bryant, Kerr, Wilson, Moyer, Weiss. But I think a guy, I've watched him 2 matches now, and he's taken losses in both of them, but I've been really impressed with is Elijah Taylor. And he gets pinned tonight by the number 3 heavyweight in the state, but he battled and kept you guys. I felt that other than Andruzzi, he kind of set the tone for Andruzzi against Cape, going out there against number 2 ranked Flores to a 1-0 match.
He was the other part of my hypothesis.
Right.
I said Eli, you're the other thing. Proof. It's the proof that we are. The program that we're doing in practice is getting you better. We didn't start off the year very well because we gave up a lot of pins, and we didn't win a match till halfway through the season, and now we're starting to win.
Right.
Now he goes to the tournament in Pennsylvania last week and wins the tournament, and here he is competing with the top kid in the state at his weight class, or the 2 of the top kids in the state in his weight class, and here he is going toe to toe with him. And the other example is Dylan Andrews.
Absolutely.
Here he is.
We were kidding.
He was 0-16,
0-17 going into Cape,
going into Cape, and now he's on a 3-match win streak.
Me and Scott were kidding that we got to see his first win, and he got winning fever, and he's not done yet. now next week, he's got his hands low. It's going to be a little tough for Andruzzi with number 2 Mike Primo and number 3 Javon Saffold. But that kid gets on top. He is just he acts like he's supposed to pin people when he gets on top.
Yeah. Well, it's just a matter of getting on top and finding. We talked about finding escape routes when he gets underneath and the weight's on him. I said, boy, you have to find some moves, and we've been working on some moves that get him out of there, so he doesn't have to get stuck underneath.
Folks, your winning coach here, Kurt Howe, looking for state title number 5. I don't know that it's going to be as easy this year. I think Central Cape can push. If they have a good night, but that's what makes it more interesting. I don't want to broadcast a 57-17 in a state final. So hopefully we will have an exciting match. It might come out on the top end. We'll see. But
it's never easy right now.
Right.
It never
absolutely.
looks easy right now.
Right. But Kurt Howe, he's got 4 titles. He's looking for number 5. And one more thing, we were talking in the pre-match, and we were talking about the conference is now won by the tournament. And this year is going to be interesting because you got 3 tough teams that Smyrna, Central, Cape, all good tournament teams. All 3 of them, you have to consider them front runners. And I think this year, kind of like the NCAAs, I think this year's Henley Open Conference tournament could be won on the backside because you got teams like Cesar Rodney and Milford that can cause damage. Dover that can affect the backside, and maybe a guy that was supposed to get 3rd might get 5th now. Yeah. So I guess you'll talk about that in a couple weeks. How important that backside is going to be the conference champs.
Yeah, not really sure what you mean by backside, but
consolation bracket. Okay. Backside of the bracket.
Okay. Yeah,
come on, man. You've been around this sport for a while.
I call it the bottom of the bracket and the top.
Oh, okay. I call them backside. I'm looking at that one.
Right. I don't have too many of those kind of wall charts. Certainly Henley Open Conference. It's what'd you call it? The Big Ten.
Big Ten of high school wrestling, the meat grinder. Yeah.
And it can, it gets tough, and you got to talk to your guys about having, a short memory, wrestling. When you lose, the backside is, you just have to have a short memory. My terminology is next move. No, just don't worry about that next move.
Right. All right, folks. Kurt Howe, Smyrna Eagles, and they're looking for title number 5. Kurt, congratulations, and we'll see you I'll see you twice next week. So,
thank you.
All right, no problem, folks. I'm Benny Mitchell for 302 Sports. Scott Kammerer, Trey Mitchell, Chris Mitchell, and Nick Halliday back at our studio. Have a good night.